Deba Penis and welcome to Olsem Wanem. The Book Belong Pikinini Library was established in Papua New Guinea in 2007 with a small library at the corner of the children's ward here at the Port Moresby General Hospital. The Book Belong Pikinini does not have a complicated story of how it all came to be. It all began with a little girl's love for books. Who could have imagined a 2-year-old girl's passion for books could have started an organization that will benefit thousands of Papua New Guinean children?
My name is Anne-Sophie Herman. I'm the founder of Book Belong Pikinini. The history of Book Belong Pikinini is now becoming a bit of a long journey with many things that have been achieved thanks to a community that has really come together. It started out with myself coming to Papua New Guinea, accompanying the Australian High Commissioner to PNG. We had our young daughter with us, who was already by the age of 2 a little bookworm. She used to have lots of friends come into the house, and when I would sit and read books, a lot of the PNG children would be very interested in this. I am from Denmark, and so I had a lot of Danish books that I was reading to my daughter. So at one point I thought, okay, let's go to the public library and get some more books so that we can continue this reading with all the kids that are coming to the house. And they said to me, what's a public library? And for me that was the start of Book Belong Pikinini, because I believe that every child, you know, in the world should have access to the joy that books bring. So I met with the wife of the then UNICEF rep to PNG, Anna Mukherjee, who was also very concerned about, you know, children's access to literacy materials in Papua New Guinea. And together with a committee, we put together the idea of establishing children's libraries, but within an organized framework.
Book Belong Pikinini Library has also provided to the children with special needs an opportunity to have access to the enjoyment of reading books, an opportunity that many children with special needs have missed out on.
We then grew to our second library, where we look after disabled children, and this is a little library out in Hohola at the Special Education and Resource Centre, where we have created a special needs program and have our library services extend to the disabled community, where they have mainly hearing impaired children at the school, but also other types of disabilities. Our third library really changed the whole way that Book Belong Pikinini would come to operate for the future. And this was the library we had the opportunity to establish thanks to steamship support. And this was the first to be open to the general public down at Laws Road. Thanks to that library, thousands of children from the Newtown settlement, for example, have learned to read. With the success of that library and with the immense support that was given to us from the whole business community, but also from the parents, we felt motivated to continue.
This organization has blossomed from a small corner in the children's ward at Port Moresby General Hospital to an organization that has structured programs now in place for children.
In the mornings we run a literacy program which is aimed at 5-year-old children, and they come in and get a program that has been developed by our very talented head office staff, where we really have developed a Book Belong Pikinini in-house program which is fully targeting PNG children, which is in line with the Department of Education syllabus, and ensuring that the children feel that it's a program where they have fun learning, but where they're being fully prepared for school.
My name is Tina Hulama, and I'm the head librarian for UPNG Book Belong Pikinini. Session 1 comes in at 8 o'clock, and they go in, put their bags away, do 5 minutes reading, and then we have devotion and mat time. And after that, we have 20 minutes of our Jolly Phonics. We do the letter sound introduce the sound for the day, and then we do the daily word. After we do the daily word, we also do our phonic songs that go with the sound for the day for 20 minutes, and then we break up and we do have activities, different activities to do with our children.
The aim of this organization is to make vulnerable children happy readers. But which children are considered to be vulnerable?
Although the children are enrolled at school, the teachers are so overwhelmed because there might be one teacher to 80 children. So we think that the quality of that education will make those children vulnerable, because even if they are physically at school, does not necessarily mean that they are learning and becoming literate. So we are seeing reports in Gulf Province, for example, where we're starting to work with Oil Search, that children in year 5 are not able to read a sentence. So that's what we mean. We want to support the parents. We want to support the Department of Education, provide access to literacy materials to give children the best possible education that they can possibly get.
The Book Bilong Pikinini Library has grown since its establishment, and 9 years later, thousands of Papua New Guinean children have not only had the opportunity to hold a book in their hands, but also read its contents.
So we have now grown to have 17 libraries across Papua New Guinea, with some organizations and corporates such as the Bank of South Pacific. We've been able to take our libraries as far as Manus Island. So we now have 9 libraries in Port Moresby, 1 in Central Province, but I would say it's still Port Moresby because it's just out on Tatana Island. On that particular library, we have the Swiss government, all the way from Switzerland, have come with support for that, together with a businessman, through CPL, a partnership with the church group. So it's really about a whole of community approach to supporting Book Bilong Pikinini to be able to have these libraries. We then have 2 libraries in Lae, 2 libraries in Goroka, 2 in Alatau, and then the one on Manus. So we're celebrating 17 libraries this year.
Welcome back. Literacy is one of PNG's biggest development issues. UNESCO believes that having public libraries in a country creates local gateways to knowledge of long life learning.
One of the missions of public libraries, as stated by UNESCO, is creating and strengthening reading habits in children at an early age. Book Bilong Pikinini in the country are filling out this gap that has been ignored by the responsible authorities of Papua New Guinea, as the country lacks in well-functioning public libraries nationwide.
I'm Lucinda Kisip. I'm the Executive Officer of Book Bilong Pikinini. Book Bilong Pikinini aims to foster a love of learning, promoting a culture of reading. It aims to empower vulnerable children in various target communities, and we do this through the establishments of children's libraries. So basically that's a rundown of objectives of Book Bilong Pikinini. Reading at an early age is very important for children, because children are growing and their brains are developing. And at a very early age, when you're reading to them or they get exposed to reading and words and numbers, it stimulates their cognitive skills, their thinking, their ability to think and to explore the world around them. So it's very important for children to get exposed to reading and literacy at a very early age.
All the research across the world is showing that by providing children with learning in the first 5 years of their lives, you are able to set patterns that will lead to brain development which is geared for long-term learning. So they say that 75% of a child's brain is formed in the first 5 years. So if we can inform the parents about the importance of reading to their children, to tell them stories in those first years, we open our libraries in the afternoons to children of all age groups. They can come in, enjoy the books, and then be able to contribute to the whole of Papua New Guinea as fully fledged citizens who can read and write.
9 years on, and thousands of children have passed through the programs provided by Book Bilong Pikinini, learning the basics of reading and writing, which are the building blocks that will contribute significantly throughout their educational journey.
Book Bilong Pikinini libraries are helping the children of Papua New Guinea in a number of ways. In the past, over the past 9 years, we've had a number of children pass through our early childhood literacy program. For instance, in 2015, we had over 800 children complete the early childhood literacy program. In our school support program as well, we've lent out over 11,000 books across the 17 libraries we have in Papua New Guinea. So in a nutshell, that's how we are benefiting. There are also the values that we communicate to our children. There's the values of respect and, living in a multicultural society. There's hygiene and other things, other important values that also the children get exposed to. So it's very important for the children of Papua New Guinea, this program. And yeah, we're really happy to be able to continue to work with vulnerable children in target communities in PNG.
Integral human development is vital, and it is emphasized in the directive goals and principles of our country. Being complacent is not an option for development in PNG. We have to think out of the box and press for improvement, even if it means to change some ways of thinking and doing things.
It's about changing mindsets, because people have just become complacent with the breakdown of library services, the fact that our education system doesn't cater for children younger than 6 years old. So we think, oh, let them play around there until they're 6 and old enough to go to school. And we've just become sort of complacent. Oh yeah, that's what everybody's doing. Book Bilong Pikinini has really changed mindsets about early childhood learning and development, and about giving children that opportunity so that children have that access to books. And it's very important for children in Papua New Guinea reading and having access to books, because as you know, there's all those library services, opportunities such as early childhood education are almost out of reach for ordinary Papua New Guineans.
Reading books for children in Papua New Guinea provided by Book Bilong Pikinini Children's Library have come from many generous organizations that have made invaluable donations. Thanks to them, thousands of Papua New Guinean children have had the opportunity to read and write.
The major achievements would have to be obviously to establish this whole community of support. You can see behind us we have, our donors who have been able to get us where we are, whether that be PNG companies or whether that be the Australian government or Australian school children that collect books for us, and, the beautiful companies that ship them up for us like CFast and Express Freight Management. But I think that the most important achievement is the fact that we've taught so many children to read and write, and that we have taught them, as you said, to become happy bookworms. Because when you look at the benefits of being able to read and write and the benefits of an early childhood program, it's not just happy readers, is it? It's really about saying, when you are able to read and write that is being literate.
We now have a glimpse of some of the activities that take place in Book Bilong Pikinini children's libraries on a daily basis.
We do the letter sound, introduce the sound for the day, and then we do the daily word. After we do the daily word, we also do our phonic songs that go with the sound for the day.
The mom and the dad make many meals. The mom and the dad make many meals for their hungry children.
What am I holding? A book. Everyone say a book.
A book.
What part of the book is this?
Front cover.
Front cover. And this one?
Back cover.
Back cover. And this one? Spine of the book. And this one? Pages of the book. And this big writing over here? Title of the book. Very good. Our title of the book is No Matter What. Can you hear the sound that we learned today on this title?
Book Bilong Pikinini noga feeble. Me am straight because em ligliget na em start lining now. Em lining mol something good so me hope that bien em bagolo big plus school. Brain blame clearing finish lo all sounds, all reading. Member isi lo catching na golo big plus school and me really amamas.
Come and see our job, said Vicky. 3, 1, 2, 3.
In Papua New Guinea, I think the most focus is mainly on children at the primary school level, secondary and tertiary. We try to make them realize through Book Bilong Pikinini that, teaching early childhood, addressing literacy through early childhood is something positive. We prepare children to continue on to formal education.
Thank you very much. Good luck.
Book Bilong Pikinini is determined to venture into rural areas in the country to present to the children the same opportunity provided for children in urban centers.
We have been extremely fortunate to, as an organization, to have had the support of corporates and the Australian government. But we also want to make sure that we don't just grow, into urban areas. We want to make sure that we can also go to the remote and the rural areas to really help those schools across Papua New Guinea. So we've developed a new program which is called Book Bilong Community Program, because again we believe in the all of community approach to literacy. And so we want to make sure that schools can get the necessary books that they need. We are hearing stories that, for example, in the Canabia region of Gulf Province, I'm hearing that children are unable to graduate from primary school into high school because they don't have books and reference materials to be able to have the substantial knowledge to pass the exams to go to high school. So because they don't have those books, all those children are missing out on a much desired education. So we now make book donations to schools who request them from us.
To conclude this week's program, we discussed the importance of reading books and how they help with literacy in PNG, and also encourage Papua New Guineans to take part in this worthy cause.
Library is very important. It complements the education of the children and the public. We know that when you have books are placed in the hands of children, it advances them. They learn how to read and write.
Early childhood education in Papua New Guinea, I'd really like communities to really think about how they support the local schools, because these schools are not supported by the government, and they really struggle a lot in terms of resources, having basic teaching materials for children, and reading books in particular. So I guess I'm going back again to reinforce the value of books and reading and promoting that culture again, reintroducing it, I guess, back into our communities again. So I really like to appeal to Papua New Guineans to get behind and support our communities in whatever way we can. If you're an educated Papua New Guinean working in town, just take a moment to see and check out your local preschool in the village, the primary school in the village, the next time you're home, to see if they've got books there, and begin to perhaps put together some plan in place and mobilize your one-talks in towns, and to see if you can supply books back to the home villages at home and the schools. There is a big need out there.
Here is Anne-Sophie Hammond, founder of Book Bilong Pikinini's message for their 9th anniversary.
It would be one of thank you. I think that thank you to our donors for making that life-changing investment in us as an organization, particularly to our platinum donors, who were the ones who were there from the very beginning and who showed others, the way. And here I'm talking about airways and steamships and NAS Fund and, Hastings Steerings, Express Freight Management and CFAS, because without them we couldn't have, gone on this long journey that it has become. The other thank you would be to all the book donors that, whether it be publishing houses in Australia like Oxford University Press, Wild Dog Books, or small school communities that donate books. But most importantly, to the communities across PNG who have opened their arms to Book Bilong Pikinini and have fully embraced us, and who are really our greatest ambassadors. They become so passionate about our work that they say loud and clear, we want Book Bilong Pikinini libraries across PNG. So that will be my message, that for this 9th year, that we still feel that community support. And then I also want to say thank you to the children for all their hard work. My greatest enjoyment is when I see a child able to read, and how I feel that they grow about 1 meter in confidence, how they are able to stand sometimes when we have big events, with the Foreign Minister of Australia coming for a visit, or the Governor General coming for a visit, or when we have the PNG Prime Minister or ministers come and see, small children who have come from never having held the book in their hands to reading in front of an audience and just being confident and happy and having dreams for their future. So it's thank you to those children for all their hard work. It means a lot to me to see that happen.
And that's all for this week's episode. If you have any comments or stories you would like to share, please send us an email via the address showing on your screen, or visit us on our Facebook page. From the Olsem Wanem team, it's goodbye for now.